early summer, I have two problems with my squash plants. The Japanese beetles eat the roots, and the vine borers tap into the stems. I'll leave a link in the description for my journal entry that deals with those two. In this journal entry, I'm talking about the two things that affect the squash later in the summer. The first is powdery white mildew. The second is the squash bug.
A common problem this time of year is the white powdery mildew. Some people have recommended simply taking off all the leaves that are affected to improve the airflow. But you can see this plant is pretty long. The airflow is already good. If I take these leaves off, it will simply be a case of others will get the mildew. Instead, I treat it. I spray the leaves with a mixture of 1 part baking soda, 1 or more parts of milk, and water, about 10 parts of water. I'm not really careful about those, that ratio. I don't know what the milk does, but it does seem to help. I use milk that's starting to go bad. It definitely doesn't have to be good milk. What this does is change the pH of the leaves. Now here you can see a brown color, almost a dirty color. That's mildew that I sprayed yesterday. So you can see that this mixture changed the pH and killed the mildew, but the leaf is still intact. So rather than cut the whole leaf off, all of this leaf is still good. The rest of this leaf is still healthy and can do fine. This brown color will stay brown. It normally doesn't get back its green, but I have stopped the mildew from spreading. It's important when you spray to also check underneath and see if there's any mildew under the leaf. You can see the spots. This is a mildew spot here. And spray those as well so it won't spread from underneath. Here you can see a squash plant where the leaves have a brown, not a bright white. Yesterday, these leaves were covered with the bright white mildew, and I sprayed them with my baking soda mixture, and now it's more of a muted or a beige speckle. This still has a bit more white, so I'm going to spray it again. And since there's nothing harmful in the spray, it doesn't hurt to spray any new leaves that don't have any mildew yet. Another problem is the little white bugs. These squash beetles lay eggs on the leaves and are very destructive to the plant. So I need to go leaf by leaf looking for the eggs and the bugs. If I can catch them before they hatch or before they do much damage, then I don't need to use pesticides and I don't need to rip out the plant. Even though these bugs don't bite or sting, I wear plastic gloves often because it's just easier to squish these ugly bugs if I'm wearing something. This leaf definitely shows signs of a squash beetle damage. The June bugs that we had earlier eat holes, but the squash bugs actually just suck the nutrition right out of the leaves and turn it brown or yellow. And there's the squash bug. We're going to check this plant extra carefully for eggs. This is a plant where I knew that there was a borer inside, and you can see here the squash beetle's stem. destroying the plant. A few more. We're going to get those as well. Here's some bugs hanging out here. We have here some eggs. This is what we're looking for. We're trying to catch them this early so we can just brush them off. And if we see eggs on the top, we should look underneath as well. We're looking for both the squash bugs and for more eggs. This is the plant that 3 days ago I sprayed with the baking soda mixture. Remember that this plant was the long one that had white all over these leaves. Some of the places where the mildew had been is a little brown, but you can see that the leaves are mostly green. There's very little white at all, a little bit here that I could respray. But that mixture has done a great job of just getting rid of all of the mildew on this plant. And this one over here next to it, you can see the mildew is almost completely gone. You remember that just a few days ago, I had white mildew on lots of my plants. Now I have gone through leaf by leaf several days in a row to catch all of the squash bugs. And a great thanks to the boss of the house who spent hours out here going through the leaves while I was at work, killing all of the squash bugs. And you can see that the spray has taken care of all the white mildew. So now we'll see if we get more squashes. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day.